Okay. Am I live? Okay, it says I'm live. I am testing. I don't know what happened there. The internet is just being the weird internet. So yeah, if you're just joining me, you missed out on the lively first part where I was wearing my Bane mask. Ah, it's very good. And I said I was sick. If you missed that first part, I am sick, but not with the coronavirus, but with the rhinovirus. And I am almost over with that. And hopefully my connection stays okay, although I occasionally see weird stuff happening. I don't know what's going on. It's probably YouTube. It's probably YouTube being very, very weird. And now I have to switch over my vMix Live. Oh shoot! Come on. Oh God. Use another account. Jeez. So I gotta switch over. I just hit the wrong button there, so I can't get your chats on screen. But we can talk while I'm doing this because, John, come on. My keyboard needs new batteries because it's dying. Oh my lord, my life is just inconvenient. That's all it is. Just a bunch of inconvenience. So here we go. Next. Alrighty, and that should allow it. Allow it in. Yep, there we go. Yes, allow. Okay, I got sick from Christmas part 2. Alrighty, on. Should be working now. Anyhow, I'll just respond to your chats. Hello, Turkey, Tolga, Okur. Picture is better. That's good. Arseny said he watched Kiss Kiss Bang Bang yesterday. Was shame Robert Downey Jr. hasn't been in a lot of movies in this past decade. Marvel ruined movies. I think. Well, he was. I think. Have I watched Don't Look Up? I don't know if I want to watch it. I don't know if I'm. I don't know. I feel like. I don't know. I'll see if I run out of stuff to watch, I might watch it. I just feel I'm not a big fan of that genre. Or that, I don't know. I'm just kind of. I feel like it might be a little punching down. I don't know. Like I'm obviously not anti-vax, but I'm not pro. Like I'm not blind follow science kind of thing, and I worry that movie might be a little bit on that. Arseny says, "Don't Look Up" is imagined by celebrities for 2 hours. That's kind of what I'm a little worried about. I have been watching The Expanse, which came back. The Expanse is awesome. If you like talking about like the craft of movie making, you might want to check out the extras on the Amazon Expanse channel. So, Chad Tatum, I don't think his name is Chad Tatum, but whoever plays Amos, he interviews. I was watching him interviewing the actor that plays Marcos Inarios, who like everybody hates. Like he's an awful villain character, but he's really good at it. And he talked about the technique behind the acting for that character, and it's really really interesting. I think it's really good. But I would watch. So definitely watch The Expanse. Definitely, it is one of the finest pieces of work right out there. They're on episode 3. Episode 3 dropped Christmas Eve, and yeah. Scott Grammer says, "I have the same. What I think is the same keyboard. Sometimes you just bit it too far away from the receiver and just move the keyboard an inch, and it brings back online. Yeah, I find if I tilt it up like this, it's fine. I think I just need new batteries." Can I say something about the Spider-Man No Way Home last battle? There's no Avengers. How is that possible? Oh, that's the problem with the multiverse. Joe and I were having a discussion about Nolan's Batman universe. The only way Batman can, in Nolan's universe, there is no other superhero. Nolan's Batman, there's no Superman to come save the day. There's no Wonder Woman to come save the day, which makes it a more interesting story. Unfortunately, Marvel, by becoming a cinematic universe where you do have basically, Iron Man, well, he's gone, but every other Marvel character in the universe is in this universe. you kind of screwed up the story, or you've limited the way to have the story. It's like you can't have a Spider-Man can't deal with one major thing when you've got all these other characters that are running around. I'm sure there's going to be some. Well, actually, the way they get around that is because of the dimensional portal does not allow Thor to be. Okay, whatever. But it's a door. Once you open that door, you can't really put it back. You let the genie out of the bottle. The bottle cannot be resealed. So that's the problem, I guess, with Marvel. You have to go smaller stories. Something like WandaVision, which kind of works because it's like, well, it's all, Wanda's doing this thing in this weird, contained universe, and the other people are watching, but they're like, well, do I need to get involved? Or, that's a little bit more, I think it's more of a direction you can go with. I don't know. Again, not my problem. Hold on, I gotta take a little break here, cough break. Oh, lovely. Snow blowing his nose on screen. That's wonderful. Have I seen Memoria with Tilda Swinton? No. Oh, that's the other one I wanted to see. I wanted to see, dang it. I forgot the name of the movie already. All right. It wasn't, I want to see French Dispatch eventually, but that's probably on video by now. What's the other movie I wanted to see this Christmas? Dang it. But Tilda Swinton, for some reason, made me think of it. I don't remember what it was, though. Oh, well. I'm waiting for a Marvel and characters from church, such as demons and angels, have a crossover. Well, there you go. Like very much a, my brain is rotted. The movie that Kevin Smith was involved with. Never mind. I recently bought a Canon 50mm f1.8 Mark I. You can add a focus puller gear to it. Definitely recommend it for manual focusing. Cool. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I have like 3 focus pulling gears. I don't use any of them. I haven't used a focus pulling gear since, 7 years. Like I honestly, I guess I haven't really shot any serious movies, but even then, we just kind of like turn there's uses for them, obviously. Maybe if I was doing more of a serious rack focus, it might be more useful. But I've so gone to the just doing it manually or autofocus, hitting the screen. Autofocus has gotten really good. A friend of mine were talking about it because he's a professional working at an Indian casino, and we're like, autofocus is at the point where, basically I would rather trust autofocus than manual focus at this point. For certain things, rack focusing might be still a bit better for manual focus, but autofocus is so dang good. Macbeth, I do want to see Macbeth. I do have Apple TV, so I could probably watch it if I wanted to. Nick says, remember that Canon hasn't published any color correction data for it, so you have to manually add nifty 50 data room to Lightroom. Okay. You guys are way too, precise with that stuff. To me, it's like, well, if I like the look of it, I'll like the look of it, and then I'll futz with it a little bit. Alex says, I haven't seen your channel almost a year. What happened to your hair? Oh, so my hair... I think I told the story once, but I'll tell it again. Basically, it happened when I was doing a shoot for Juneteenth, and the client was taking pictures, and they took a picture of me filming the event from behind, and I realized that I had no hair, and I'm like, well, you know what? I'm really just lying to myself in the front, so I decided to make my front look like my back and make it even. So. That's what I did. And I also wanted to do my Bane cosplay. See, that only works when you have no hair. And then I could do Picard, and I can also do Lex Luthor. That's my goal. Is Lex Luthor, Picard, and Bane. The Holy Trinity. From this way out, the channel will be Lex Luthor, Bane, and Picard. So, yeah. Welcome to the hairless revolution. Yes, we're gonna wear more hair. Anyhow, So okay, so the other show I've been watching is For All Mankind because I think somebody was talking about wanting me to watch that, and I dig the premise. The premise is sort of, what if the Russians beat us to the moon, and what if the space race never ended, and it kept going. And so I got through the first. I finished the first season. I thought, oh shoot, wow, that was a good 2 seasons. I realized only one season because I thought it was broken down. It had two like major finales. I thought like halfway through, but yeah. So I thought it was pretty good. The first season was really good. So I'm getting into the second season. What I like about shows like that is it has no stars in it, like no major stars. It just has people that I recognize some people. Like I've gotten to know Chantel Van Satin, who I recognized her from The Boys because she plays the mom in The Boys, and she's on her way to do something big. She's gonna like break through. Like, and this show's not gonna, this show isn't that popular, but she's gonna be like a big breakthrough star, I think. Kind of what happened to the marvelous Miss Maisel. She just needs somebody to build a show around her. But anyhow, yeah. So I've been working through For All Mankind. It's definitely worth a watch. Although I do feel that I am much more interested in the political and the space stuff. That interests me the most about that show. But they do try to put in a little like personal stuff of people here on Earth. And I'm like, I don't care about that. Tell me what's happening with the Russians. And then tell me what's happening on space and the moon. And I get maybe you can't do an entire show about the moon because of budget. You don't have that much budget to spend on that stuff. But hey, anyhow. Donnie Pearson, welcome back. It says, Happy Boxing Day. Yeah, I understand it's Boxing Day. I don't really understand what Boxing Day is, but I know it's today. Everyone's well the day after Christmas, although celebrate Happy Kwanzaa and Happy St. Stephen's Day. Not for St. Stephen's. I look like Vin Diesel, says Rick. Well, there you go. Yo, we're family. We're family, yo. Sure, there was never a Boxing Day here in the States, unlike UK, Canada, Australia. Think of it as a continuation of Christmas, so to speak. I think we should rename the week after Christmas, because there's a week between Christmas and New Year's. Like, that should just be, that is some sort of holiday. We need to have a term for it. Call it Filmmaker IQ Day, Christmas Day. I don't know. Russians went to Mars in the 70s, I think, but it took more time for the news to travel west than the trip may be. I know the Russians went to Venus, though, because there are a couple shots of the probe that goes to Venus, and then it basically it lands on the surface and it melts. It literally melts because Venus is such a terrible place. Yeah, that's... And I actually think, if I remember my Kerbal space program correctly, it's actually harder to go toward the sun than it is to go away from the sun. Because in order to go to the sun, you need to accelerate. Like, you seriously need to accelerate in order to reach the speed of Venus's orbit. But to go to Mars, you basically need to kind of burn, I'm getting the terms wrong, retrograde. So you could slow down to reach Mars's orbit. So anyhow. Did he make Wonder Woman 1984? I don't know who you're talking about. It was Patty Jenkins who made Wonder Woman 84. Directed it. What do you think about Cine Mod lenses? Honestly, I think it's a waste of money, dude. Like, I think, okay, so you're going to get like a very tired me from now, I think, going forward. Like, I'm looking at the world of people that want to be filmmakers, and you're like, you guys are getting too concerned about stuff, that you're getting way too concerned about certain things that aren't important. Like, I don't think Cine Mod lens is okay. You're getting some nice things about it, but I'd rather go with a Cine lens. Like, save your money for an actual Cine lens and trying to mod like a camera lens. I mean, and I have a couple of the Rokinon they're basically Cine mods, I guess. They're fine. I wouldn't write home about them, but like I wouldn't. Don't spend all your money on stuff like that. If you already have the lens, just use the lens. Don't go crazy about other stuff. That doesn't matter. Catching up with your comments here. Rigel says Rigel was already here. Was already used. Been a while. Have you done any videos on old school SFX, force perspective, that kind of thing? Not recently. I am. I have to be honest that I don't. I'm not very pro old school effects. I feel like it's a little fetishized about old school effects. I appreciate a lot of them, but I feel like it's very very fetishist about it. Like I honestly don't believe that miniatures are. Although I do build a hell of a lot of miniatures, as you can see, I don't believe miniatures are better than CG. I really don't. I really don't. Comic Cash is going he's going crazy here. Am I pro freedom or pro China? I'm pro freedom, obviously. You can see it. Doesn't that mean anything to you? But I'm not vax free. I'm triple vaxxed. So there you go. I'm a walking conundrum. So sorry, I got a Christmas cold. I got Santa baby. Santa was a little bit mean to me. What's your favorite Frank Sinatra song? Probably "My Way." I think that's probably one of his best. Rigel says, "Hey pal, I'm Venetian, and I will not tolerate you bad mouthing my home." Oh, you're Venetian? Well, I'm sorry about that. Enjoy your runaway greenhouse effect. What's your opinion on LED backgrounds as a replacement for green screen and blue screen? Huh? Does that tell you what I think about it? I like it, obviously. I think it's great. One thing you got to be careful with, like LED, like virtual productions like that, they're not they don't solve everything. You know, they're nice. They do solve a lot of instances where, you know, I think one example might be, you know, like car driving scenes. Excuse me. Like car driving scenes might be considerably useful for that. And there's a lot of great places, a lot of things where they can be very, very useful. But there's still major complications with that, and I think especially for new filmmakers, even for myself, I really would like to get back to this idea that we make films in reality, that make films in a real place rather than making films on green screens and sets and all that stuff. It's extremely useful to be able to do that in certain circumstances, but sometimes it's just simpler and easier to just get the scene, get the place. You know, and what it's like that old. There's an old story about when Ian McKellen was on the set of Hobbit, and he was acting. You know, but he was acting over here, and the hobbits were over on the other side of the set because they had to do some sort of weird forced perspective effect. But they had two cameras that were synced. So the one camera was Ian McKellen as a big wizard, and the other camera, which is somewhere off the stage, was the Hobbit. But they were linked up together, so you move one camera and the other camera would move, and that's how they would sync up the two shots. But Ian McKellen's kind of I guess he was so frustrated because he didn't know how to act, because he was in a green room. He's like, I can hear them, but I can't. He was having a bad day. He started crying. And there's a famous image of him doing this, right? And I feel yeah, every time. I'm very technically minded, obviously. When I did the videos with the lessons, I would do it on green screen, and and it felt like you have to do so much pre-production, you have to do so much post-production that the actual film itself is a tiny sliver of something, and it just loses it. So I'd rather sometimes you just want to do a scene with people in it and shoot a scene with people, and then when you have it ready, okay, we have the elements we can cut together, but it's not manufactured in pre-production and manufactured in post-production. It's manufactured, the filming is actually part of the situation. Anyhow. You gotta be George Lucas and not James Cameron. Well, it depends on which George Lucas you go for. How can you avoid the Van Halen's belt? The Van Halen belt, I love that. You mean the Van Halen belt? What did Van Halen do? What did Van Halen do to you? All right. Comic Kush is on some sort of like super far right wing. Okay, I mean, you guys probably, if you follow the channel, you know that I am probably more red than blue, but I ain't that crazy right wing. Climate change is real. The question is, how much do we worry about it? Christmas says, thought you were Ned from Spider-Man No Way Home from the thumbnail. I wish I was Thumb. What the hell is with these fucking VOI.FYI assholes? These guys, I don't get it. Like, every time I used to do a stream, they would always put, like, a comment on them. Like, they would always, like say, like, put that as some sort of a lame little thing. South says Steven Spielberg. Now you're just being weird. Comic cashes, you can't escape Earth. Yeah, okay, all right, comic. You sure? I'll let that work. The Van Halen belt. It's Van Allen belt, dumbass. Anyhow, right wing, bro. You kidding me? I'm Indian. You can be right wing. Whatever. I know. He meant the Van Allen belt. You know how you get through the Van Allen belt? You just travel through it. I mean, literally, the Van Allen belt is like, it's just some radiation that's in this area. And then there are portions of the Van Allen belt that, obviously, Apollo missions, they try to avoid the vast majority of it, but it's just radiation. You just punch right through it. You're going like 20,000 miles per hour. I mean, you get through it like in a minute or so. That's how you get through the Van Allen belt. Now, the Van Halen belt, that will take a little longer to get through. There's some serious Van Halen belt action. All right. Now I'm getting salty here. Arsony says, "Comic dude, shut the fuck up." Yeah, we might actually do some stuff. You say that miniatures are. Oh, I'm getting my thing. Miniatures are greater than CGI. I will disagree with you on that, because and this is as someone that has worked with CGI. I've worked with both. Well, I worked with both. I do enjoy making miniatures, as you can see. I do love miniatures. All right, comic, you're gone. All right, see you later, buddy. Hey, not clicking on me. Oh well, we'll figure out a way to get rid of his ass. But I like CGI a lot, because I've worked with CGI. Shit, I can't get this thing moving. I've worked with CGI a lot, and let me tell you, like, there's a lot you can do in CGI that is really, really cool. There we go. Oh, I had him for a second there. There's a lot you can do with CGI that's really, really cool. In fact, my entire career kind of owes itself to CGI. Like, everything I've done is computer-generated imagery. So I'm partial to CGI. Now, I do like miniatures, but they can never quite achieve the realism that a CGI can. And there you go. And Arsony has a good point there. I don't remember bad miniatures, to be honest. Bad CGI is everywhere. 200 plus million movies. There are some very bad miniature work. They are, and I've basically pull up like I was watching Red Letter Media's Christmas special, and they were doing this really, and it was like a horrible miniature, absolutely horrible miniature. There we go. I love it. Rigel 7 says, how do you get through the Van Halen belt is to let it change lead singers a few times, let it run on fumes until the guitar player dies. Boom, you're through it. Exactly. Yeah, so Arsony, going back to your, I don't remember bad miniatures, to be honest, it's called a toupee fallacy. And that the term is, I never seen a toupee that didn't look fake. And the fallacy is, well, if it didn't look fake, you wouldn't know it was a toupee. So there's a lot of CGI out there that you think looks real, but it's not real. There's a lot of computer generated stuff that's real. Yeah, so honestly, I love computer generated models the same way I love physical ones. I think I'm more in line with what you're saying there, Donnie. Like, I love them both. I don't have a love for. I don't have a fetishization for like physical 3D models. 'Cause I don't think they always look better. Like I heard, there's some low budget stuff I've seen out there where it was like somebody turned a spaceship made out of a milk jug, and I personally thought, there's a charm to that. It looks cute, but it doesn't look good. It looks cute, but it doesn't look good. So, God, I thought I got rid of him. All right, come on. Trying to boot this one guy. It takes forever. There we go. Here we go. Bye-bye. All right, we won't deal with him anymore. Get rid of Comic Cash. Sorry guys, I am more red than blue. However, that guy's a dick. All right. Arseny says, I mean, of course it's bad on low-budget films, but expensive movies is always good. This is what I meant. On expensive movies, CGI is usually always good. It depends. Well, it depends. I guess there's some bad CGI in big movies, but I think CGI, for the most part, in the modern day, is actually really, really good. So, yeah, I think that's toupee fallacy, Arseny. Sorry, I just think you're wrong. Miniatures and Interstellar, Inception look good. Sure. So the CGI. The CGI in like Mad Max Fury Road looked fucking amazing. And I know like there's a big thing being made about how there's so many miniatures in Mad Max Fury Road. But if you watch there's actually a video from VFX. It's a VFX channel, but it's for like a serious VFX channel. And it's like 2,000 of the 3,000 shots are CGI. 2,000 shots. So, all right. Liberal says, but not crazy. Based on your familiarity with logical fallacies. That wasn't a logical fallacies. I hate logical fallacies, by the way. Absolutely hate them. I'm much more interested in biases. I don't think toupee fallacy is. Yeah, I guess it's a logical fallacy. But I don't like logical fallacies. The reason why I don't like logical fallacies is because they're often being thrust by people who are not real, who are also experiencing some severe biases. I guess that's why I hate logical fallacies, because it's a very cheap way of trying to win an argument, and I think most fallacies, like I've been accused of straw manning, when a lot of people are really just straw manning me. So it's more, biases are much more interesting and much more useful, I think. Oh, Matrix Resurrections. That's one. I don't know if I want to see that or not. I think I should see it just for the hell of it. Matrix Resurrections roof jump could have been CGI instead of having actors jump off a real roof. We have technology now. And look at the original Matrix was largely CGI. What a revolution in that. Those that made the Boston Dynamics parody, that's what they call them. Dang it, what's the name of that YouTube channel? You guys will tell me. Arseny says the CGI in Fury Road mostly composite. They blew up stuff for real. Yeah, well, they blew up stuff, but a lot of stuff was CGI. Like a lot of some of the backgrounds and all that stuff. So that's what I'm talking about when I say CGI. Like all that stuff that's all digital stuff. That's all creations. Of course they blow stuff up, but you mix it in with CGI. That's what the beauty of CGI. You mix it all together. It's all these tools being used together. That's why I don't ascribe to any. And I've been fighting this for like decades, right? I don't ascribe, and most people that Corridor, thank you, Corridor Digital. And even Corridor Digital tell you, like, it's not an and or. It's, you take miniatures and then you digitally enhance them. So maybe what you do is you build a miniature like this, and then you CGI like bubbles coming out of it, and you CGI all the other stuff, and you actually make the miniature better. There's all the, it's never an and or proposition. It's always and yes and. It's like the improv thing, right? It's never, oh, CGI or miniatures. No, it's CGI and miniatures, or miniatures and CGI. It's all practical and digital. It's all of it put together. It's never one of, and to take this attitude like, oh, CGI is bad. I'm going to be very careful here. It just means you don't know what you're talking about. It literally means you're just ignorant about the topic. So anyhow. Best practical effects are 2001 Space Odyssey, sure. But again, 2001 Space Odyssey, a lot of, even technically CGI back then. Like it was literally, yeah, there you go. Freddie Wong did a video about that. And that video is absolutely right. It's always, and all our tools. See, now you guys are getting it. All of them are tools. I'm getting frustrated trying to go back to this topic that kind of been settled. It's kind of been settled years and years ago, but whatever. Sorry, Arseny. Sorry to pick on you. Speaking of Matrix, I had fun seeing Resurrection on HBO Max. Don't worry, I always avoid spoilers. I don't really care about spoilers, but I get it. You know, let's not spoil for anybody that doesn't like them. Liberal but not crazy says, well, you don't dislike logic fallacies, you dislike people who misuse logical fallacies to win, which I think is most of the internet. Like I literally feel like most of the internet is just people that misuse logical fallacies to try to win in their arguments. Like somebody, like my 24 frame per second video got so many like, this is a logical fallacy. This is a logical fallacy. Everything is logical fallacies. Suff says old CGI wasn't good news, but news has been better, but you can still often tell CGI rather than on the movement. You know, like I'm sick and tired of the argument. Okay, you can't always tell. You can often tell. Here's the thing. A lot of miniatures look like shit too. Like seriously, like do you? I mean, if you were to go back and look at those Godzilla movies, especially the kaiju stuff when it was literally, and I think people don't appreciate the amount of work and the amount of effort that goes into making that look really good. So, stream is down again? No, hopefully not. Let's see, what does it say on my YouTube? It says excellent connection. I don't know what's going on. Anyhow. Nick, I think I'm still running. It says I'm running. I don't know. I'm just going to presume it's running. Nick Manny says, I'm asking again now that we're spam free. I'll shoot my first commercial. Organized production in a few days. Any recognition or tips? Nick, good question. All right, organized production. So have a plan and then try to stick to it. And then basically communicate with everybody as much as you can what is going on. So always have a plan. Keep the ball. Keep keep in mind people's be cognizant of people's energies levels. So I don't know if it's probably not a union, but do respect lunch breaks and plan for meals. But do try to keep the trickiest part is coming out of a meal, bringing people's energies back together to get back to work. But that's what I would say is have a plan, go into it, but don't be afraid to improvise. Don't be afraid to improvise. Somebody is wrong on the internet. It's time to spend 5 hours arguing with an anonymous user. Yeah, no kidding. That's what I do. That's what 24 frames per second will do to you. Most marketing classes teach logical fallacies as a technique. It's a profession for many people. Push back on that. That's not what marketing classes teach. Because you know why? I have a marketing degree. My thing is not sending me stuff. There it is. So, marketing, that's not really what marketing, logical fallacy, marketing, my internet stream, this is off, on and off again. Dang it. All right. Well, we're going to have to probably cut it close, but I'll finish off on this if my stream does survive. Good Lord. All right. Screw the internet tonight. We're done. We're probably done today. So if you want to know about marketing, look up Ogilvy and Mathers, even though they marketed in the 60s. Marketing is about value propositions. Marketing is about delivering value or presenting value to the customer. Doesn't necessarily involve trickery all the time. Although, I'm getting the feeling that we're falling into these dumb cliches. So, but marketing is can be far more important and far more interesting than that. Anyhow, I don't want to go down that road. I'm getting frustrated with the internet going down all the time. MKL says anything done cheaply and without proper time or care is going to look cheap. I agree with that, 100%. Yep, it seems to be on and off again. Yeah, something's going on here. I don't know what's going on. Oh, I wonder if it's a comic messing with the internet. I don't know. It's just annoying. I think it's something to do with the internet's been weird. I don't trust anything of it. I hate it all. It all sucks. All right, I hate to leave it on that note. It sucks. It's such a bum note to leave it on. Basically, if I was going to challenge it really hard, like always challenge your beliefs. And I feel like stuff like CGI is a very being anti-CGI is a very unchallenged belief. It's like you haven't really thought it through. I don't know. That just got me in a bad mood. I'm just annoyed with that. It seems like it's a settled issue, but it's not. Anyhow, frustrated about everything. I wish you should also challenge your views. My internet sucks. Something's going on, and it sucks. Everything sucks. Not receiving enough data. All right, fine. Thanks a lot, guys.